Hey guys, Infidel 1258 here. Today I want to share a clip from last night's public live event with Jim Morgan. I was talking with him about buying low, selling high. He had a story about buying his Poseidon, gold foil Poseidon at an amazing price and unloading it for some maximum profits. And then I also did the same with an amazing lightning dragon. There's some great opportunities in this game. You got to monitor and work that marketplace regularly. If you're really exploring that, I think you're going to find deals of your own at whatever level you're playing, bronze, silver, gold, wherever. There are deals to be had, but you got to be active in that marketplace. And when you find them, it's going to start to snowball that account value like you see in the stories here today. Thanks, guys. Will of D, I do not have an Alrec. I sold it a long time ago. You know how I talk about reallocating assets that you get that appreciate wildly to try and reinvest in new assets that haven't appreciated? That's what I did. I had when I started playing this game, I had all the beta summoners. And then what I did was they reached a certain threshold, and then the untamed summoners came out and they were relatively cheap in comparison. So you could get a Bortus for, I forget what I sold my Alrec for, but whatever I sold the Alrec for, I was able to buy a max level. I sold a level 6 Alrec and I bought a level 8 Bortus, and then I had money left over. And so that's the sort of thing I'm doing all the time. And if you guys are just getting started, that's something I strongly recommend you do. You need to be very thoughtful about it, and you need to weigh the pros versus cons before you pull the trigger on something like that. But those sorts of options are going to allow you to grow the utility of your deck, the collection power of your deck, and stretch the dollar that you've got in the game, right?
That's actually what I did recently. I sold my gold Poseidon for 500 profit, so 1200, and I just turned it into packs and a few singles.
What's the Poseidon?
He's
yeah.
water legendary.
Yeah, I know him. The archery, right?
Yeah. He's kind of bad.
I don't have him, and I never had him. But he did.
He's right. Yeah.
So
he's not like terrible.
Yeah.
But so this was the other thing I was really banking on, that they would release a water summoner that has like range on it or close range, which would be awesome. That would then make him a killer.
Yes, I agree. When I've spoken about Poseidon before and I talk about carry monsters, you guys know I think of the game like this. You need your summoners, then your tanks, then your carry monsters, and then your supports. That's how I imagine it. That's how I categorize it. And to me, I've always thought of Poseidon as overrated because, first of all, the mana cost is very significant. And second of all, he's not, in my mind, a carry card, even though he is quite powerful with the shield and the blast damage, and even things like immunity are great. He's doing a ton of archery damage to the highest levels. I think this is an amazing DPS card that is not quite a carry because he cannot fire from the first position except for in very unique circumstances where the rule sets allow it. And that's a problem because he's so expensive mana wise that he's not going to be functional unless the game mode, allows like 50, 60 mana. And then, yeah, I would love to have him on the back line, especially at a diamond level when, maybe when there's like noxious fumes or something like that. But that's at diamond, which most players don't play. It's when there's a 60 or more mana cap, which is not every game. And it's so expensive, both in mana and US dollar value, that I just never bothered with it.
The other thing about it is it's 4 attack with blast. So when it does attack, or if you put it to 5, but 4 attack with blast, dealing 6 total damage. At that point, you're better off playing an Axemaster to get more focused damage.
Yeah, the Axemaster
to the tank rather than 4.
And the cost differential is so significant. Like this is $66 per BCX. I just bought an Axemaster earlier. Actually, he's here. Butters sold me Gilberto Esparza. Butters 323 sold me his Axemaster. I mean, he didn't sell it to me. He did, but he listed it on Peak Monsters, and it was a good deal, and I snagged it. And it was a level 5, and it's such a good card, man. I have multiple copies of it, but I have multiple accounts, and so they're playing on various different accounts. Where is it? Do you see it? There it is. So freaking good. With the
Yeah.
and
And then he also gets close range.
yeah, exactly, the close range. But then this is like I bought it. I think I bought it off Butters at level 32 or level 5, and then I bought 14 extra copies because this cripple is just broken. When you do cripple with double strike, every round you're hitting for 6, plus you're doing 2 cripples, which is another 2 damage.
Yeah.
But only if they have more damage to give up. So yeah. Hey Matthew, who else is here? Ivan's here. Somebody named Jim Morgan, some troll in the chat.
You know, let's ban him.
Special guest MC Hammer. Gonna use that card. Hey Sigmund. Tales from the Cryptomancer. Hey man, thanks for coming, pal. Hey Zach, good to see you. Damon's here. Malcolm's here. Tim. Steve says, yeah, Death Team is so strong now that you can do it 4 times. Do it 4 times. Are we talking the weekend? I think he means the weekend.
Big weekend, yeah.
Yeah. Big redemption play, totally. That's slime ball. Remember that? I've never seen that before with the double.
Yeah, I forget who made that video.
Stever calls it out. He says, Undead Priest, Dr. Blight, Death Elemental, and the Darkest Mage, so no armor and add a redemption. Ooh, I like that with the because if the redemption just blows up the armor, then it's not doing what it really should. That's smart. Hey, Aftersound. Yeah, so Aftersound is here. Are you available tomorrow, my dude? We're hoping to do a 2 o'clock. I want to do a conversation about some cool new artwork that'll be Splinterlands related. I hope you can make it. Saucy got the invite, but he's got some family stuff. Good to see you, Saucy. Who else is here? Razor Games, Vince, AFK Arena, War Gods, eh? I'm so sad. I just lost 7 matches in a row and went from almost silver to bronze 2. That is brutal. Oh, Stever's talking about alphas. Jim, check this out. I don't think I shared this on my channel yet, but I was very pumped about this. So you guys, maybe, I think some of you will have seen the video that I did with Jarby. And we were talking about some of the features in the Peak Monsters site. And one of them that he told me about was the compare. I knew about it, but I don't often use it. Compare. And then I use the best CP to cost ratio all the time, but I don't usually use these features, gold versus regular and alpha versus beta. And he reminded me how helpful that can be at isolating cards that are really disproportionately under or overvalued. And like, for instance, Dragon Whelp, you can apparently, if you were interested in spending a ton of money, you might have an access to a gold foil option, but that's not realistic. So I just quickly have a peek at it and I move on because that's all the tool is giving me, a quick little peek. Is there anything interesting out there? And earlier this week, I saw that there were 2 on the alpha versus beta that were in the negative differential. So the alpha was cheaper than the beta, and so I snagged them. I bought this guy here, Silver Shield Knight, at level 8 for I think $260, and it was selling for I think 400 or 360 or something for the beta, same level. And then I bought this one like a couple weeks ago. I got a couple of them, I guess. And then this one. This was $400, and I recently sold, like maybe in November or December, I sold a max level beta version of this for 1,000. So that's fine with me. The level 4 is better, of course. Level 4 has blast, which is super important, but this is 400. The other one cost me 1,000. So I feel like I'm willing to sacrifice a blast for $600.